Welcome back to my Electro 220 series of videos. Today we'll be working on Lab 4. Lab 4 is called Grab and Sign. Lab 4 is a continuation of Lab 3, where in Lab 3 we got the robot to sign the signature of a famous person. My famous person was Abraham Lincoln, and as you can see, this was Lab 3. It was simple signing, and it went back to its home position. What Lab 4 will do is it'll actually pick up the pin from a base and sign the signature and then replace the pin back to the base. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is to get rid of this pin tool. This tool has a pin built into it. I'll just come over here and delete it. Now I created a 3D model of the gripper that we have in the laboratory at school, and we'll place that onto the robot. And there we go. As you can see, this is the tool we have in lab. Now the next step in Lab 4 will be to create what's called station logic. We're not quite there learning station logic, but we're going to use it in this lab so that we can control the gripper in the simulation and actually pick up the pin. So to start, we're going to come over here to simulation and click on station logic. Now this opens up a station logic window, and this is our robot right here. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is create a line sensor, and to do that you'll just right click and select line sensor. Now if it's not located here and recently used, you'll find it down here in one of these menus. There it is, line sensor. So we'll select that, and we'll kind of give it a position. And we want to set up some properties for it. And we'll do a radius of 10, and we'll select a height of 25 millimeters. We want to make sure active is on. Now if we come over here to view, you'll actually see the line sensor was placed right there. We'll click apply. Now when I click applied, you can see that the dimensions that I created were outlined. And we can close that window now. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to attach the line sensor to our gripper tool. And to do that, right click on line sensor and go to attach to, and we'll attach it to the root of the gripper. As you can see, it places the sensor right here. Now we want to position it right in between the gripper fingers, and that looks about right. If you bring it out just a little, so right about there. Now we don't need to see the sensor, so we'll come over here and right click on line sensor and turn off its visibility. Okay. Now we'll come back here to station logic. And we're going to add two more logic functions. We're going to add what's called an attacher and a detacher. So we'll select the attacher, and then we'll select the detacher. Now we'll want to assign the parent for the attacher as the robot. And we can just close that. Kind of give them a position. Now we want to join these parts together. From the line sensor right here at the sensed part, we're going to click on that and drag over to the child of the attacher. And then from the child of the attacher, we're going to come down and connect to the child of the detacher. Now I just went through real quickly and renamed the components, taking off that number that was on there. Now the next step will be to create signals. And to do that, we'll come up here to controller. We'll go to configuration, drop down to I/O system, and right here you'll see signal. We're going to right click on that and create new signal. Now we're going to create two of these. The first one will be called attach. The type of signal is going to be a digital output, and the access level will be set to all. We'll click OK. That was already created, so we'll just leave it. And then we'll create a new signal, and we're going to call that detached. And it's also going to be a digital output and all. Now that also was previously created, so I'm just going to cancel out of here. But normally you'll click OK. And now you'll see here in the list we have an attach, digital output, and a detach. So we're done with that, so we can just close that out. And when we add those, they'll become available in this drop-down menu, and then we'll just select them and it'll add them to the robot. Now we want to connect those signals to the attacher and the detacher, so we're just going to come up here and click on attach and drag it over here to the execute of the attacher, and then detach will go to the detacher. Just going to position these. Alright, yeah, I'll put that back up. Now for now we're done with the station logic, so we're going to come back here to the view. And like the gripper tool, I also created a library for the pin and the pin base. So we'll come back to home. I put them in user library, so we'll select the base, and that'll place it in the same spot that I created the library in. So that's where we want it. And then we'll import the pin body, and that too places it where we need it to be. Now the next few steps are pretty simple. We're going to position the gripper over the pin, and we want to do that in some steps so that we get a nice grab. So we'll start out, we'll come up here to jog linear, and we'll select the tool. I'm going to bring it down a little. I'm going to bring it out a little. Not quite so far. Now we want to change our work object to work object 0. Come over here to paths and target, and we're going to teach target. And we'll rename this grab 1. So that'll be the first grab position. The next thing we want to do is we want to orient the robot, and I'll do a jog joint for that so that it's pretty much in line with the pin. So yeah, it looks about right. And actually we can come here to mechanism jog joint if we want to get really particular right there. And you can see these axes kind of line up. We'll close that. And we're going to teach target again. Come back here to paths, and we'll call this grab 2. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to position the gripper just above the pin. So we'll come here to jog linear, select our tool, we'll come down. And right there, we'll line up these axes here. And we'll come around. If we right click orientation top, and we can kind of zoom in and get it more precise. So right about there. Looks good. And we'll rotate back up. We'll come down just a little bit more. And this will be our first, our third position. And we'll teach target. We'll rename that grab 3. The next position will be straight down, grab our robot, to about midpoint of the pin. The pin is the pin tool, or the pin is the green part, right about in the middle. And we'll teach target, and that will be grab 4. And that's about all the steps we need for now. The next step will be to set some poses up for the gripper. And what a pose is, it's basically the positions of the fingers. And to do that, we're going to come over here to the gripper and right click and select modify mechanism. And that gives us a window over here, and right now it's been preset with a position, a home position, which is open, and then a closed position. Now we want to adjust those a little, so all we want to really adjust is just the close. And we can move each finger, and we want it to make sure that it's touching the gripper. Now it seems to be off a little, so let's go back to pass grab 4 position. And with it closed, you can see it's not quite grabbing it over on this side, so let's make an adjustment to grab 4. And we'll modify, we'll offset position. Probably not that much. And we'll close. Actually, that didn't quite do it, so let's do a linear. Or better yet, we'll do a jog joint on the robot. now we got it all adjusted. We can just click on here and we can see the gripper functions, and we'll close that window. Next thing we'll do is we'll come back here to station logic, and we're going to add 2 more elements. And the first one will be under manipulators. We want pose mover, and the mechanism for that will be the gripper, and the pose will be the home pose, and we'll click apply. We'll drag this over here and we'll create another one in our manipulators pose mover, and this will be the gripper, now the poses don't come up right away, so if you close the window and then go back into it, you get the poses. And for this pose mover too, we'll have closed gripper, and we'll click apply. Okay, now we'll drag this over here, and the final step will be to connect the robot attach to the execute. So we want the closed, and the detach to the open position. So this will close the gripper, this will open the gripper. Alright, we're done in station logic, so we'll just close that out. Now we need to finish the positions for the robot. So we'll come back here to home, paths and targets, and we've got grab position 1, position 2, position 3, and position 4. Now we want to take these and we want to make sure our move jog, and our speed will be 500, and we'll do a zone 10 to start. So we'll select each one of the grabs and we'll drop them down right about here underneath home. So the moves will start out at home. You'll go to grab 1, go to grab 2, grab 3, and grab 4 position. Now while we're in grab 4 position, right here we're going to right click on it and we're going to insert an action instruction. We're going to select instruction templates. We're going to choose pulse DO, and the signal will be attach, and we'll create. I like to add a little timing, so we're going to come back here to grab 4. We're going to insert another action instruction, drop down to wait time, and then we'll just highlight that and select 0.5 seconds. Hit create, and we'll close that. So it'll come to position grab 4, it'll wait half a second, it'll pulse an attach signal to grab it, and then it'll move. Now we want it to move back up to grab position 3. So we'll drag that down here past the PO, or the pulse DO. From grab 3, we'll come up to grab 2, and then we'll allow it to continue, or just do the signature. After it's done doing the signature, down here, we want to put the pin back, and to do that we're going to start at grab 2 through grab 4, and we're going to drop them down into the bottom. And at the end of the signature, we want to delete that. So we want the home to be at the bottom. So from the end of the signature, it's going to go up to grab 1 position, grab 3 position, grab 4 position. And here we want to detach from the pin. So that'll be an insert action instruction. Under templates, pulse the O and select detach and create. And we want the same timing, so we'll do a wait time of 25. Now, so it's smooth, we're going to add another wait time after the pulse. And that'll also be 5.5 seconds. Alright. So we can come back here to the signature. It's going to move up, come down, put the pin back in, wait half a second, detach, and we want to come back straight up. So that would be a grab 3. So we'll drop a grab 3 here. And so again, a grab 4, detach, wait, straight up. We'll do a grab 2 to make it smooth. And then home. That should do it. So we start out from a home position, we go to grab 1 position, grab 2, grab 3, grab 4. We wait a half a second, we attach to the pin, we come up to grab 3, grab 2, and then we sign. At the end of the signature, you'll come up to grab 2, grab 3, set the pin back in the base, detach, wait timing, come back straight up to clear the pin, go to a mid position, and then home. So let's see how that works. We want to synchronize to the rapid. Make sure all these are checked. So let's give it a try. And there we go. That'll be lab 4. Thanks for joining.